Hi, everyone. Debbie Rosemont with Simply Placed here. I'm a certified professional organizer and a productivity consultant. And I had some thoughts I wanted to share today on really asking a question. Are you as committed to yourself and your success as you are to others? And that includes your well-being as well as your productivity. Is your day filled with requests and email and distraction of others? So I got this question yesterday. I was presenting at Caliber Home Loans and talking about time management. And one of the things that I suggested as a strategy was time blocking, basically putting blocks of time on your calendar to get priority work done. And this was kind of in conjunction with the idea of chunking tasks. So like activities, doing them in a collected period of time makes them happen more efficiently and more effectively because you get into the groove in that thing. So when you have priority work or you have a bunch of calls to return or even processing email, to do that in chunks of time is more efficient. And an obvious example I could give you of chunking like activity for efficiency and effectiveness is if you had 3 errands to run in a day and you went out and did one errand and then drove back to your office and got some other work done, and then you left again and you went out and ran another errand in that same direction and came back to your office and got some more work done, and then a third time of the day you went out again for that third errand and you came back and got some more work done, that would be far less efficient, right, than going out to the one area, running all 3 errands together. So that one's really obvious, but we can think about the same with the activity that we do. You know, chunking like activity to be able to be more productive and more efficient and effective with that lets us get into the groove. So in conjunction with chunking activity is putting blocks of time on your calendar to accomplish those priorities or to move things forward. And this is really about working proactively. When instead we don't do that and we just get on email in the morning and we are in email all day long, we're really reacting to what other people think might be a priority for us, or it's a priority to them. So working out of email all day long is basically accomplishing other people's to-do list for you, and it may or may not be in line with what your priorities are. So the question today is, are you as committed to your priorities and your success and your well-being as you are to others? The idea about putting blocks of time on your calendar and not honoring those blocks of time, which is what the question was yesterday. Someone said, well, I do that. I put blocks of time on my calendar, but then I don't actually do that thing at that time. So I asked her, I said, well, when you have a block of time in your calendar for example, a doctor's appointment, do you go see that doctor at that time? And she said, of course. And I said, and this training, this workshop that we're doing, this was on your calendar, right? And here you are at this time. So you honored that. And she said, well, yes, of course. And if you had a client who had an appointment with you and you had that on your calendar, you would go see that client during that time. And she said, well, of course I would. I said, okay, well, then you have the technique down of putting an appointment on your calendar and then doing that appointment at the same time. But when it is something that is just a priority for you and not a commitment you've made to somebody else, are you honoring that time just the same as you would as if it was with somebody else? And she said, you know what, I'm not. So we talked a little bit more about honoring that time for herself, being proactive, and how actually that was in the best interest of her clients, because the work that she was talking about wanting to block time for was about pursuing additional clients so she could help more people with the work that she did, but also it was moving work forward on client projects that she already had. So when we have our own kind of self-imposed priorities or commitments and our own deadlines, we're not necessarily committed to somebody else in a formal way, we need to treat those appointments just like we would treat those to somebody else. So think about time blocking on your calendar as making an appointment with yourself, and then honor that just like you would if you were actually going to meet somebody else. So the idea about being as committed to your own success and well-being, when I talk about well-being, I mean carving out time to take care of yourself. And this 100% impacts productivity. If you let yourself get burnt out and run down and don't carve out time to, make healthy meals and to get some exercise and to do the things that you need to take care of yourself. If you're, burning the candle on both ends and not getting enough sleep, this absolutely impacts your productivity. So prioritizing self-care is also a part of this conversation. When you don't do that, you're also kind of telling yourself and showing the world you're putting everybody else first. And when that happens for a long period of time, it can impact our health. And I've heard before, and I'm sure you agree, when we don't have our health, we don't have anything. We're not able to do for others if we don't take care of ourselves first. So let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if the idea of, on the airplane, we hear it all the time, right? If there's an emergency, put on your own oxygen mask first before you go to help somebody else. Because if you can't take care of yourself first, you're not in the best position to be of service to somebody else. So with time blocking, with taking care of yourself, make that a priority. And then it does take some discipline, right? If you see that time in your calendar and it's just an appointment with yourself, it could be easy to dismiss. But I want you to think about this today. Are you as committed to your own success and your own well-being as you are to others? And how can you prove that to yourself? So you prove it to others by showing up, being where you're supposed to be on time, most of the time, I assume. And, it's part of being in integrity is doing what we say we're going to do, doing the right thing. Are you doing that for yourself as well? So that's my message today, kind of short and sweet, but I had that on my mind since the question just came up yesterday in a workshop. These are the kinds of things we talk about in the It's About Time virtual productivity program, as well as in the group trainings I do for companies. So if it's something that you could use more of, please reach out and let me know. We'll connect and talk about how we can help you further. In the meantime, if you have thoughts or comments on this topic, tell me how are you prioritizing yourself? How are you moving your own things forward and not just being reactive to other people's requests or priorities for you during the day? That's what I want to know. Put it in the comments here and shoot me a message if you'd like, but take care of yourself. Make yourself a priority. You will be of better service to others and you will be more productive. So get lots done today. Talk to you later. Bye.